Okay, this gray pair of pants, I only really need to fold it up the length of the original hem. So I really only need to fold this in one time for them to be the correct length. So I'm going to turn these inside out, lay it out kind of flat on here, and I just need to take this and fold it up really one time. So all you need to do, if that's the length of your hem that you need to hem these pants, just fold it up and pin it all the way around. Okay, to hand hem a pair of pants, you're going to take your needle and you're going to you're going to get you a piece of thread that's at least a little bit longer than around the bottom of your pants leg. You're going to thread your needle. This is how I've always tied knots in the end of my thread. There's a bazillion different ways to do it, but this is how I've always done it. I wrap my thread around my finger 2 or 3 times, holding the end of my thread in between my finger and my thumb. And then I take it and I roll the thread off the end of my finger, and then I slide that little bunch of thread on there. I slide it down to the end, and that'll create a knot. Is it the prettiest knot? No. Is anybody going to see it? No. Okay, so we're going to take our pants leg. Let me see if I can get all of this in camera. And I always like to start at one of the seams, and we're going to do something called a whip stitch. Now, don't yell at me. I probably am doing this wrong, but I've been sewing for over 40 years and it's never failed me yet. So I like to take my thread and start it behind the seam so that it hides the messy knot that I made. And you come out the top and pull it tight. So see that little knot tucked right up in there. And then we're going to do something called a whip stitch. Now, there's a bunch of different stitches you can do. This is just how I've always hemmed pants, is I take a little tiny bit of the pants leg, a couple of threads, and then I take a little bit of where we have folded it up and pull it through. And then move down just a little bit of the pants leg, a little bit of where we folded it up, pull it through. And I just keep going all the way around, taking the pins out as I go. And if you pull this too tight, see how it puckers up your pants leg? You don't want to pull it that tight. You just want to pull the threads tight enough to where these little loops are not sticking out. And they're going to hold up the hem of your pants. So we're just going to continue that, going all the way around. Little tiny bit of the pants leg, little bit of the fold, and pull it tight. And what that's going to create is that's going to create almost invisible stitches on the outside of your pants. Now remember, these are going to be down by your feet. Nobody's going to be looking at it that closely to see if your stitches are perfect or not. But I think this is a skill that everybody should know how to do, because chances are you have bought pants that are way too long and that you need to hem. So I think everybody should have the skill of doing a whip stitch and hemming their pants. It's really not that hard. And this is something anyone can do, even if they don't have a sewing machine at home. So we're going to continue on and go all the way around our pants until we meet back up where we started. Do my final stitch. And then I will take another little stitch and pull it up to where my loop. So I like to take it to where this loop right here is about the size of my finger. And then I will take my needle and I will go inside the loop, around, and back through the loop again. And I like to hold the loop while I'm pulling the thread out, and then slowly pull it down and it'll form a knot. And I do that 2, maybe 3 times if it's feeling a little bit loose. Sometimes I will wrap it around 3 times around the needle. It just depends on my mood. But if you pull it slowly, you can get the knot all the way down to the fabric. Sometimes if you don't pull it slow enough, the knot will end up here. Just cut it off and do it again. But that will secure your thread. And then you can trim it off close, and you have hemmed the bottom of your pants. And the stitches are almost invisible when you do it this way. So you don't have like that normal line of stitching like a machine stitched hem. So I'm going to do the other pants leg, and then I'll show you the finished result. Okay, the obligatory feet shots again. So this is how they turned out. They need a good pressing with the iron, but you can barely see the stitches down there, and they're going to hit me just right when I have on a pair of shoes. And so that is how you hand stitch a hem.